Hi, Tantric Travelers. Happy full moon in Virgo. I am going to do a quick pick reading for everyone tonight. And as usual, we have the three decks, which are my faves. So I've got my spiritual tarot here, the black one. I have the ancient French tarot, which is this nice sort of plaid stripy one. And I have the animal tarot, which has these nice shamanistic kind of symbols on it. And I want to match them up with some special full moon elements tonight. So Virgo is the sign of the priestess, and she is also the sign of the intact one. So the one who is unaffected by the attentions, inclinations, or objurgations, if that's a word, of others. And I think that that is a beautiful energy to be in, especially at a time when we are being very affected and our attention is being demanded by so many different things that are occurring on our planet right now, but especially those that are occurring seemingly outside of us, and that media sources are calling our attention to in a way which takes our attention away from ourselves and our own inner experience and our own feeling of being a temple and a sacred space unto ourselves. So although interconnection is a beautiful thing and a beautiful way to perceive and interact with consciousness and life, self-containment is also our option as human beings, and it is an energy that is absolutely necessary to us if we are to maintain our health and if we are to go through any processes of dis-ease, illness, and healing, any process at all, actually. If we're going through a growth process, we need to experience some times of self-containment. If we are going through a death process, we clearly go inwards and experience this in a very self-contained way, as do all living beings. So Virgo reminds us of that, and she also reminds us that we are and can become whole again and intact again at any and many times in our lives. So this is a power which is untouchable by the energies which are perceived as existing outside of ourselves, and the priestess contains these. And I would like to remind all of us, dear Tantric travelers, that we are all priests and priestesses in our own consciousness, and we are all priests and priestesses who keep the gates at the inner sanctum of our temples. So it is we alone as individuals who permit or deny entry for any energy into our inner sanctum of our psyches, our hearts, our spirits, or our bodies. And that even if some breach does occur, we are always able and empowered to change the settings on our energy field in order to correct that and to reattain the state of wholeness and intactness within ourselves. So I hope that wasn't too obscure, but it is the way of the High Priestess to be a little obscure. So, and let's just begin. So with the three piles, with the black deck of the Spiritual Tarot, the meditational object or resonance is chocolate. This was a gift from a friend, and it's a very, very nice chocolate. It tastes kind of like, it might be Guatemalan. It's lovely, and it helped heal me. And for the plaid pile, or the ancient French tarot, why don't we use a little vino to resonate with that? This is a Portuguese Douro, in case anybody wonders. And for the animal tarot, I just found this book. So that's all I'm going to say about that. So pile 1, the black tarot, pile 2, the plaid, pile 3, this beautiful shamanic pattern. And let's just see tonight what your virginal energies want to share with you. So what, in your most intact and, your most untouchable state, who are you? In your most intact and your most untouchable or untouched state, who are you? In your most intact and your most untouched, secret, inner sanctum of yourself, dear chocolate pile, who are you? Oh, high priestesses. Oh my. The moon. You are the high priestess. You are very, very secretive. You are very powerful. You are the moon in all of her phases, but the full moon in Virgo is speaking to you in particular. You may be a Virgo. You may be a Virgo, or I feel you may be a Pisces, and it's beautiful because, as always, I'm leaning on my familiar, this beautiful wolf spirit, and there are 2 wolves in this portrayal of the moon card, which is number 18 in the Major Arcana, and between them are creatures of the deep. Looks like maybe a crayfish, and there are some drops of blood. The wolves are singing, and it almost seems like they're singing some manifestation from the deeps into existence. One of the crystals on the windowsill just moved. I don't know which one, but yes, you can see even in this portrayal of the moon, she looks like the Virgin. She has a very gentle, feminine aspect, and she's sort of allowing her light and dark energy to gently flow and rain down to the beings of this planet who are sensitive and pay attention instinctively to her wisdom. And this is who you are in your inner sanctum, my dear chocolate pile. You feel the wisdom of the cosmos in your blood. And besides being a Virgo or a Pisces, you might actually be in your moon time right now, and you might be experiencing the extra sensitivity of that. And, with that come the negatives as well as the positives. So any attachment to the morphic body or the collective pain body is being asked to be released right now, so that you can make space to receive the higher wisdom that this beautiful virgin moon is sending to you. Let's ask for one more piece of wisdom and advice for those of you who chose the chocolate. So So we received 2 cards. We have Sister Wind in reverse, and we have the Hanged Man. So Sister Wind in reverse, this is the Page of Air, the Page of Swords, and when this is in reverse, I am actually receiving right now that it is beneficial for you to disconnect as well from electronic media. So perhaps take some time tonight or whenever you're watching this this video, this reading, and completely disconnect, like disconnect your modem from the electrical source, and disconnect your device from the network in your home, and allow yourself to just feel the vibration, the natural vibration, which is without the outer persistent kind of pressing, throbbing, pushing at your temple doors, and allow yourself to be at peace and to hear that very, very special sound, which is silence without any of the buzzing and calling that we receive even when we're not looking at a screen, to pay attention to what's going on in the outer world. So leave all that behind for a little while, and this is also a suggestion to do something that many people are beginning to do, which is disconnecting from the web and from all electronic devices for a full 24 hours or 1 day per week. And you can even unplug your modem every single night when you go to sleep, and replug it in the morning, and see if that lessens the electromagnetic energy which is circulating around your home and through your body, so that you can feel more at ease and more naturally connected with the electromagnetic energy of this planet and the moon and the cosmos and the animals and even the other people who live here. You also have the Hanged Man, and I think this is kind of saying the same thing. I feel that you are also an extremely creative person. You may be a writer, or you may be an artist who is feeling very antsy right now, or has been for the past couple of months, and I think you're waiting for some time of quiet to occur, and you may be withdrawing, and this may have been forced upon you even by some outer circumstance, like seeming ill health, or a break from work or something like that wasn't expected, that has caused you to, instead of being vertical, be horizontal, or just kind of turned your schedule upside down so that you're awake at night now and sleeping during the day or something like that. But the Hanged Man is an upside down energy, which allows us to see ourselves and the world in a different way. So this is occurring for you right now, or is about to, and it is much needed, because when Odin tied his ankle to a tree limb and flipped himself over for some time, he received the gift of the language of the ancient Scandinavian gods, which we now maintain in the system, the spiritual system of rune reading. So Odin received the runes and the wisdom that they generate when he was in the position of the Hanged Man. So becoming sort of voluntarily blind to what's going on in the world is not always a bad thing. And this is a major arcana card as well as the moon, so I feel that, this is a very significant time for you, and you may help these energies move through your life more easily by disconnecting a little bit from electronic media. And that is where you find your true virginal state. My dear Chocolate Tantric Travelers. So good. Okay. So for the next group, which is let's go. The Ancient French Tarot, Vino, where can you find your true, intact, and virginal state? What wisdom does this inner sanctum hold for you tonight? Whew. We have a lot flying for you, dear virgins. Whistling and eating chocolate, it actually works. Okay, let's connect with pile 2. Vino, Ancient French Tarot. What wisdom lies in your inner sanctum, in your virginal state? Dear pile 2, I just felt a very interesting little sidestep into a parallel dimension, my friends. Tantric Travelers, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on, Madonna? What's going on? What guidance from the inner sanctum for the second group? What guidance from the inner sanctum? Okay, we have a few coming out at once. So we have the 8 of Cups in reverse. We have the 8 of Wands in reverse. 8, 8. Page of Pentacles. The 9 of Swords in reverse. Okay, this is a whole story, guys. The Queen of Wands and the Hermit. Okay, so I'm feeling a few things. I feel like there's 2 people involved in this virginal story who may be kind of in self-imposed states of virginity right now. So they are reattaining their intact inner sanctum, and that's a beautiful thing to do. And if it's done consciously, that's amazing. So one of them is a very passionate, beautiful, and charismatic, magnetic, feminine person. And the other one is a kind of already kind of a shy and, I don't want to say scholarly, but studious, someone who likes to study, and someone who has always liked to look within. And I feel like these 2 people, who could be friends, could be partners, former partners, or wanting to come into some kind of contact with one another, are both kind of in the same boat, which is there has been some study of a new way of being and trying to find a sense of renewal. And this has to do with the flower of life. So this is about manifestation and creativity, but also with money, also with success. Kind of maybe trying to figure out, like, how can I be this sensitive, creative, and spiritual person and still afford to live? It's a difficult question. And that is why we have temples for priestesses to live in and to receive the appreciation of those they minister to. So if you are a spiritual worker, a worker of the arts or an artist, a sexual worker, a healer, or anyone who is doing things which are very drastically underrated by dominant society, first of all, I value you very, very highly. In fact, I value you most highly of all, because you are living the life that your highest self has called you to, and that is a very courageous and challenging path to take and to maintain. And yes, one of the good things about this path is that we allow for these periods of retreat, and we allow ourselves these periods of the withdrawal of our communication with others and with the outside world, even, our friends and family. And if we don't allow them, they tend to happen naturally to us and we tend to have some period of illness or, a mental sort of crisis, which takes some time to recover from, because we are naturally on the outside of, or maybe deep in the inside of, how dominant society appears, the structures and the institutions. Those of us who work in the spiritual arts, some of which I have just mentioned, writers, artists, priestesses, priests, sexual workers, healers, we take on the burdens of others, and we take on the energies of others to purify them, and this is not an easy task, especially in a time that humans have purposefully and violently forgotten how to do this. And we are only coming back into this knowledge. I mean, it's been preserved in a careful, lucky, and haphazard way, but thank God, we have preserved some of the ways and the means by which we may do this, for we are coming back into a time where these things are being valued again. So the treasure trove that you carry, my dears, is deep and weighty. And if you need to take time away and apart and either go into your own inner sanctum and, pretty much hide for a while, then that is a good thing to do, because, especially at these times of year, these cross quarters times, a lot of very intense energy is coming into us from the outer cosmos, and we are literally satellites to receive it and to then hopefully through our work share it with humanity and our plant, animal, and mineral companions here, as well as our spiritual companions. So you hermits and you queens of wands, you scholars, you artists, you whores, and you teachers, thank you for the work you're doing, and you're about to find each other again. It's been a long winter, and I'm not saying that this is even a romantic partnership, but this could be, a scholarly companionship. It could be one or a number of friends who hold your interests at heart, understand who you are and what the hell you're talking about. So I feel that this is coming for you, and what resides in your inner sanctum is always the interest, curiosity, and belief in the power of new knowledge, or knowledge that's new to you. So keep studying, keep going in, and the fact that the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Wands, as well as the Nine of Swords, are all in reverse, I feel that this is indicating that, just as spring is right around the corner, so is your release from this self-imposed hermitage, and soon you will feel the young, wide-eyed scholar again. So, looking forward to seeing you soon, my loves. Let's drink deeply to wisdom and knowledge. Okay, now, pile 3 The Tome. I love this. I've been working out. Okay. Being a little silly tonight. Sorry about that. It's usually such a serious thing being a virgin, but sometimes I've just got to let loose. So for pile 3, the Tome. Oh, what energies, what advice coming to you? Oh, coming from your inner sanctum? Oh, you should see who came out. We got the 3 of Cups, 3 of Shapeshifters, fertility, success, and fulfillment. Okay, so I'm just gonna say there's a threesome coming your way. Yeah, that's the kind of third-party situation that I talk about here on Tantric Traveler. But no, this is also, it's kind of the same energy as the last pile where it's about, getting in touch with like-hearted people and fertility, success, fulfillment, and just feeling good, and creating the vibration of good energy and good feeling, like creating it and feeling it and living it and dancing. And if you like a little sip of wine, great. If you like a little nudity, even better. And just enjoying that vibration. And guess what happens when you do that? You attract that. So for pile 3, you gorgeous Animal Tarot shamanistic divas and divos, that's what's coming your way. And that is what happens in your inner sanctum when you invite people into your private space and you trust them and you feel a like-heartedness with them. You want to put them at ease and let them know that you too like to be free, and you too like to be naked, and you too like to be full of joy and less of care. And this happens, and that's a really, really special gift that you always carry within you, and that when you have the opportunity, you will share with others. So, wow. Okay. What else for pile 3 is in your inner sanctum? What else is in your inner sanctum, pile 3? Guess what? Thank you, Goddess. Thank you for these beautiful gifts that we hold and carry and care for and share at our own discretion. Thank you. Thank you, all of you who do this in your own way. Temperance. The reflection of the heart in others. The sharing of one's spiritual treasures with others, and the receiving in return. The infinite stream of spiritual energy which flows through us and which we may tap into and choose to reveal to one another at any time, and which assists in healing evolving and purifying our consciousness on every level and every plane through the vibration of unconditional love. could not be more beautiful. I'm so happy that your inner sanctum is housing these great gifts. Dear pile number 3, the tome. Thank you, all of my priests and priestesses and tantric travelers, for your full conscious presence and for your attention and love which you give to the moon when you look up into her face. Know that your energy is flowing into her and being reflected back to every being and every substance on this planet and healing all. Be blessed.